Check 1 2. For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
For Christmas shopping, 10 days left to fill the stocking. 10 days left for Christmas shopping. Only got 10 days more. Only got 10
Hi, did you hear what the man said? Only 10 more shopping days till Christmas.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
News team, assemble!
Joining us live because if you want to know anything about the Outer Banks, Sam Walker's the dude to fill you in.
The sea was angry that day, my friends. Like an old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
Always appreciate talking to you.
Always good stuff with Sam Walker in the Outer Banks.
Now here's Les Nessman and the news.
And good morning, everyone. It is OBX Today Live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. On this Wednesday, December 15th, 2021, glad to have you along with us. In a little bit earlier start than normal. No big deal. Yeah. Things got to get done today. On the show, we are going to hear from Governor Roy Cooper, Secretary Mandy Cohen with the latest update on COVID-19 in North Carolina. We'll have their opening comments from yesterday's press conference. Not a lot coming out of that press conference, other than just their concerns over the rise in cases and positive test rate. The big thing that really came out of it was that Governor Cooper essentially said that right now they're not looking at having to do any statewide mandates, that would keep it where things have been, where the local governments can handle those unless things were to get worse after the holidays. He left it open-ended, essentially. But we'll get to that in just a second. First off, latest on our grounded boats here on the Outer Banks. Let's see, we'll get up the display here so you can take a look at, here is the latest photo from yesterday afternoon of the Alhambra. That is the Island Packet. That's actually a brand of sailboat that is called an Island Packet. It's a 38-footer or 37-foot called the Alhambra that washed ashore early Saturday morning off Avon. It is up on the beach, as you can see with that photo there. You can see a sandbag. Those are airbags they use, actually almost like rollers, like big giant logs, but those are airbags. And we're able to get that boat out of the water. Some repairs were made to the steering that had been damaged, and some other repairs that had to be made to that vessel. The plan is for it to get towed out today. The Park Service did have to give them permission to make the move because they had to get things set up in a proper way. Several local folks helping get that boat fixed and ready to go. And the plan is for today, the Alhambra, to be headed back out into the ocean with a pull today. A much easier task to get that boat back out in the water compared to what's still got to be done in Southern Shores with the FV Bald Eagle 2 that's been there since last Tuesday. That shrimp trawler, seal-hold shrimp trawler out of Wanchese, that ran into problems with its engine, then got a net wrapped up around the prop and ended up on the beach in Southern Shores. Now, tug is en route from a salvage company down in Charleston that's going to pull the Bald Eagle 2 back out to sea. It's still sitting right up in the breakers. They've pumped all the fuel off. They've pumped out the water. They've been having to pump water out of it not so much constantly, but on a regular basis the last couple of days to prevent any problems with any environmental damage. But the salvage company is on its way with tug. They're expected to arrive today. They could possibly try tonight with high tide. High tide will be today is at 5:45 and then 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So if they don't try it tonight, it looks like maybe tomorrow. Weather looks good. We only got a little bit of a light north wind today. And then south tomorrow, which actually may be the best day to go for them. So they'll be getting things out there ready to go off of Trout Run and Southern Shores. Looks like tonight or tomorrow to get the Bald Eagle 2 back out in the water. Once they get it in the water, they're going to tow it up to Hampton and repair it and get it back underway. But unfortunately, they've lost more than a week of shrimping time. So bad news for those guys that work on that boat and the company that runs it as well, missing out on peak fishing time here just before Christmas. It is OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. Latest report out from Dare County on COVID-19. The number of new cases and the percent of positive tests to total test both increased again this past week. The 7-day rolling average of new cases in Dare County is at its highest level since the last week of September. Among the data that was released yesterday by Dare County in their weekly report, 11 people are hospitalized, 129 active positive cases, with 11 people from Dare County in the hospital. Total number of cases in Dare County is top now 6,655, with 4,530 of those residents of Dare County. 26 deaths, no change there in the past week in Dare County. Yesterday, press conference held by Governor Roy Cooper and also State Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mandy Cohen. That took place in Raleigh yesterday, and we've got that for you right now.
Well, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining today's briefing. As of today, we have had 1,577,154 COVID cases, 1,932 new cases reported since yesterday, 1,575 people in the hospital, and sadly, 19,033 people who've died. 1 year ago today, hospitals in North Carolina started giving the first FDA-authorized COVID-19 vaccine to healthcare workers. In the years since, we have come a long way in our fight against the virus and its variants, thanks to the amazing vaccines that are saving lives and allowing us to get back to the things that we've loved and missed. Right now, 73% of our adults have received at least one dose. 62% of people age 5 and over have gotten at least one dose. And then a remarkable 94% of our seniors, 65 and over, have gotten at least their first dose of this miraculous vaccine. North Carolina continues to work every day to increase the number of people vaccinated. And our teams are in close coordination with community leaders, faith leaders, and healthcare workers to answer people's questions and give them accurate scientific health information about protecting themselves. Now we're encouraging everyone 16 and older to get a booster when you're eligible. This adds another layer of protection. As new variants emerge and COVID continues to circulate, getting vaccinated and then boosted is the best way to protect yourself and get us out of this pandemic. Vaccines and boosters are widely available, and you can make an appointment today to get yourself this protection and more peace of mind. I know so many family and friends are getting together with a lot of joy this holiday season after missing out on last year's traditions. But COVID infections rose after the Thanksgiving holidays, both this year and last. And as we gather again in December, we should get vaccinated to protect ourselves, our loved ones, and others around us from severe COVID or even worse. With cases rising, it's also a good idea to get tested before you gather and wear a mask when you're inside a public place. The holiday season also means signing up to get health insurance on healthcare.gov. And this year, thanks to the new benefits from the American Rescue Plan, you may be able to get a better deal than last year because your federal subsidy may be higher. And that means the insurance premium you pay may be lower. The American Rescue Plan can help more than 225,000 additional North Carolinians who are eligible for lower premiums or even no-cost health insurance coverage, depending on your income. So if you explored the marketplace in the past and didn't end up purchasing because of the cost, give it another look. You may qualify for more financial help this year. But be sure you do it by tomorrow, December the 15th, if you want to be covered by January the 1st. You still have until January the 15th, 2022 to sign up, but your coverage will start later. So take a look today, healthcare.gov. I know more than 1 million North Carolinians still need health insurance, and this may be the way for you to get it. Check out your options at healthcare.gov. And now, what's likely to be the last time, I'd like to ask Dr. Mandy Cohen, our Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services, to provide an update on North Carolina's key COVID metrics. Dr. Cohen.
Thank you, Governor. It's quite a milestone to mark the 1-year anniversary of COVID-19 vaccines in the state. In the past year, we've administered more than 12 million vaccine doses and almost 2 million booster doses. I want to thank all the healthcare workers who's been working hard to put shots in arms, and the millions of North Carolinians who got vaccinated to protect themselves and others. Okay, let's dive into the data. This first graph looks at people who come to the emergency department with COVID-like symptoms. It's our earliest detection mechanism. And I want you to look at the yellow line, which represents this year. And it shows that this trend is on the rise. The blue line is last year's trend, and you can see that it is steeper and faster rate of increase than what we are seeing this year right now with the yellow line. In our next slide, we look at new COVID cases. This graph shows you the trajectory of new cases each day since we had our first case in March of 2020. You can see our first major peak of cases was back in January of 2021 before the vaccines were widely available, and the second peak was in August and September as a result of the Delta variant and had the greatest impact on people who were not vaccinated. Let's zoom in and look at just the last few weeks in terms of cases. On this graph, we're looking at cases from mid-October through today, and you can see that our cases were largely level, but have been increasing this month. Our highest rates are in children and young adults, which is our least vaccinated age groups. Next, we look at the percent of tests that are positive. This graph goes back to mid-October, and looking at the yellow line, the percent of positive tests has increased and has been above our 5% goal since the last week of November. On our next graph, we look at day-over-day hospitalizations. This graph also starts in mid-October, and looking at that yellow line, you can see that trend is also increasing. This next slide looks at what's happening at the local level. This is a map from the CDC that shows the level of viral transmission here in North Carolina, and unfortunately, North Carolina is back into the CDC's red zone with higher levels of community transmission. All but just a few counties are red. These increases that we are seeing in cases, hospitalizations, and community transmission are still being driven by the Delta variant of COVID-19. People who are unvaccinated are highly vulnerable. Almost all hospitalizations and deaths are in people who are not vaccinated. All right, so let's look at our vaccination data. Today, 73% of those 18 and older have had at least one dose, as have 94% of those 65 and older, and this is great progress. Our next slide shows the percent of the population that's received at least one dose by age group. I'm concerned about our younger population. They're the least vaccinated, and it's where we're seeing the highest rates of cases. We saw during the latest Delta surge that it can be hard to predict who's going to become seriously ill from COVID-19 and who's going to experience long-term symptoms. Young people who are not vaccinated were harder hit. Getting vaccinated reduces your chance of getting COVID-19 and provides significant protections from serious illness, hospitalization, and death. If you haven't gotten vaccinated yet, please talk with a doctor, a nurse, or other medical professional, or go to a reliable online health resource like the CDC or yourshot.nc.gov to be sure you're getting accurate information. You can still decide to get vaccinated. And don't forget that vaccines are now available to younger children starting at age 5. Getting children vaccinated helps them be healthy and protected from COVID-19. It's why I got our daughters vaccinated right away. Like many vaccination, boosters are needed to strengthen and extend the protection against COVID-19. Last week, the FDA and CDC lowered the age for boosters. Everyone 16 and older should get a booster shot as soon as they are eligible. If you got the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, you should get a booster 2 months after your shot. And if you got the Moderna or the Pfizer vaccine, you should get a booster 6 months after your second shot. 16 and 17-year-olds can only get a Pfizer booster. With the holidays, colder weather, and the potential of a new variant approaching, please do not put off getting your booster. This is particularly important as we now face the threat of a new and even more contagious variant, Omicron. Early research suggests that boosters provide additional protection against Omicron. While the Omicron variant has been identified in our state now, it's not widely circulating yet, so it's still time to get your booster. Our rising trends are likely the result of colder weather and Thanksgiving gatherings. With the holidays approaching and people getting together, there is going to be a greater risk of getting and spreading COVID-19. But you can reduce the risk to you and your family and friends by doing some simple things: getting vaccinated, getting tested, and wearing a mask. First, getting vaccinated as soon as possible and getting boosted as soon as you are eligible. And don't forget to layer on protections with a flu shot. It's still flu season. Second, get tested, even if you are vaccinated. Before you attend an indoor gathering, get tested, and before and after traveling. Third, wear a mask. Like I said, we're back in the red zone, so everyone should be wearing a mask when in public indoor places. Protect yourself and your family and friends. Vaccinate, test, and mask. As this is likely going to be my last press conference as secretary, I did want to take a moment to thank the people of North Carolina. Throughout this crisis, you have been our North Star. This virus has been formidable, but it's no match for your resilience and strength. While it's hard to step away, now is the right time. The Department of Health and Human Services is in a strong position to continue to carry out its mission. And while you see the governor and myself at the podium of these briefings, what you don't see is the incredible team of leaders, scientists, and doctors that have guided and led our work to protect the health and well-being of North Carolinians. No one has been more instrumental to that than soon-to-be Secretary Cody Kinsley. I can say with certainty that Governor Cooper has appointed exactly the right leader for this next leg of the race. Thank you, Governor Cooper, again for giving me this incredible opportunity to lead. It has been the honor of a lifetime. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Cohen. As I've said before, North Carolinians have benefited every day from your leadership, especially throughout this pandemic, when your work has saved countless lives. We are going to miss you.
All right, that is from yesterday's opening statements from yesterday's briefing with Governor Cooper and Secretary Cohen on COVID-19. Question and answers, nothing else really came out. The governor was asked about that story that surfaced in the New York Times on Monday, about him possibly being a potential 2024 Democratic candidate for president. He said he's fine with. He's got 3+ years left on his term. Said he's fine doing what he's doing. He left it open-ended. Could he run for something else? I mean, there are some other things he could run for and still remain governor, Senate for one, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. All right. Yesterday, it was announced that the first flu death in North Carolina was reported. That was an adult in the western part of the state. The person tested positive for flu, but negative for COVID-19. Other information not released. First fatality in North Carolina this season from the flu. Of course, last season, an average season has about 300 deaths from the flu in North Carolina. In contrast, since March of 2020, COVID-19 has claimed more than 19,000 lives. Flu infections most common from late fall to early spring, with a peak in January or February. Health officials do say that last year was tamped down because of people's mitigation measures from COVID-19. And on average, we've seen around 300 deaths or so the last couple of years in North Carolina. All right, we'll take a break, come back with more here on OBX Today Live on Facebook and YouTube, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. Stay right there.
For over 15 years, Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated has been a beacon of light, guiding local families through difficult times. Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated proudly provides all families with compassionate choices for professional funeral care at reasonable prices. Get the answers you need 24 hours a day. No answering services, hidden costs, add-on fees, confusing fine print, or those scary-looking contracts. Remember, Gallup Funeral Services owns and operates the only crematory in Dare County, keeping our cremations affordable and convenient. Gallup Memorial Chapel in Bargo, North Carolina is now open and minutes from Moyock and Elizabeth City. From traditional church services and graveside burials to direct cremations and advanced planning, let Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated light the way for your family. Don't be pressured or confused by the other funeral homes. It's always your choice. Choose Gallup Funeral Services Incorporated. Call Courtney at 252-216-8030 to get a plan started today, and visit our new website at gallupfuneralservices.com.
Experience Christmas in Corolla this holiday season. Reserve your spot on a Wellhead Candlelight Christmas tour and be delighted by the wonder of this iconic treasure. Then enjoy the lights and holiday sights in historic Corolla Village. Visit wellheadchristmas.com for details.
Our pet of the week for this week is Zeus. Zeus is a mixed breed around 2 years old. Unfortunately, he was surrendered to the shelter because his family was moving and they couldn't take him with them. This big boy is completely house-trained and would love to play tug-of-war all day. If you have another dog and are interested in adopting Zeus to join you on all of your adventures, we would love to schedule a dog meet. To adopt Zeus or foster one of our other animals, you can come visit us Monday through Saturday at our shelter located in Mania. This week, join us at the PetSmart in Nags Head, Friday the 17th from 5 to 8 p.m. for our Kitten Palooza. Stop by and see us so you can meet all of our adoptable kittens. For more information, visit our website at www.obxspca.org or visit our OBX SPCA Facebook page.
Well, good afternoon, everybody.
Back again on OBX Today Live here on Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sam Walker. On this Wednesday morning, North Carolina Ferry System has set its schedule for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which are traditionally low traffic days. The Hatteras-Ocracoke route will have limited departures basically once an hour, starting at 4:30 from Ocracoke and 5 a.m. from Hatteras. That's their normal runs. And it's going to be 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, noon, 2, 3, 6, 9, and midnight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They'll have just 11 departures on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, 11 runs from each side on the Hatteras-Ocracoke Ferry. The Quarrytut-Knotts Island Ferry will not run on Christmas Day. Also, the Minnesota Beach, Cherry Branch, and the Southport Fort Fisher will have limited schedules as well on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. You can get all the details. We got them for you at obxtoday.com on the H2O page. Yesterday, the UNC Chapel Hill Board of Trustees voted again to approve the university's new provost and other top administrative positions after the panel's votes last week on those hires faced legal scrutiny. Emergency meeting called Tuesday to immediately end any further attempts to challenge the validity of Professor Chris Clemens' appointment as provost at Carolina and executive vice chancellor. Now, he's defended the board's initial vote and said the accusations have, quote, unfairly stained the board process, and this board has created unwarranted speculation about the validity of the appointment. Campus trustees approved hiring Clemens as the university's top academic official last Thursday, but they never publicly disclosed the position or candidate they were voting on. Instead, they voted on Action 1 and Action Item 2 and 3 as a package after deliberating the personnel actions in closed session. The voting process not only lacked transparency, but one local attorney said it was unequivocally illegal and violated North Carolina open meetings law. Now, the Board of Trustees Chair Dave Bolick said that the only people who said anything was the Daily Tar Heel and a couple of people on campus, when in fact every media outlet in North Carolina, including this one, reported, or at least we did here on the show, reported that this illegal vote took place. Again, flaunting sunshine laws here in North Carolina. Not the first time, won't be the last time that we've seen something like that happen. All right, a couple of things else to get to here as we wind the show down. First off, today is the last day for the Children and Youth Partnerships diaper pickup for December. That'll be going on from 9:30 until 6 at the CYP offices on Ananias Dare Street in Manio. Free diapers available to Dare County families from newborns to size 6. It's a contactless diaper pickup. They do have limits of 2 packs per family. To get more information, you can just swing by the OBX Today Neighbor to Neighbor Help Zone. We've got the details on how to contact the CYP. This is, of course, brought to you in part by the Outer Banks Community Foundation, who have supported CYP's diaper bank thus far. And also they thank all the amazing individuals, businesses, churches, and organizations that have made donations. You can make donations as well. Go to darekids.org. That's darekids.org if you'd like to chip in and help out with the CYP and their diaper pickup. Reminder that coming up on Friday, of course, is the First Flight celebration, the 118th anniversary. There's all types of activities that are going on at Wright Brothers National Memorial, free admission on Friday. Also, the Dare County Airport's got activities with the Candy Bomber is going to be out there. The Candy Bomber run's going to be Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The weather forecast for Sunday, it's going to be looking a little dicey. It looks like we may have some rain in the morning, and then it's going to clear off, but it's going to be breezy, which might impact things with the Candy Bomber. We'll keep you an eye on that and let you know as details come in. Finally, because I know I'm probably going to get a lot of people asking about it, a lot of people commenting about it because they're going to see this hitting the national news today. And I'm sure all of my friends that know my love for the Disney parks. This was last night. Main Street USA. Yes, that is a Reedy Creek Fire Department truck going down right down the middle of Main Street USA. There's a song for that. They were responding to a fire that took place in Cinderella's Royal Table Kitchen. That is the restaurant in the back of the castle. And so I just thought I'd play it because there's some great video. You never see that happen before. A fire truck and 2 ambulances rolling right through the heart of the Magic Kingdom. Yes, there will be plenty of media coverage on that, I'm sure, all day long. But the folks working in the kitchen there in Cinderella's castle, they got the fire out themselves. They didn't have a problem. Got it out with a fire extinguisher, and the response rather dramatic to happen right in the middle of the evening there at Magic Kingdom. So I just figured I'd share that because I know I'll probably be getting hit up about that all day long here on Facebook and on Twitter. All right, so let's see. We're going to get one thing queued up here, and then we're going to run over and take a look at sports. And last night, college basketball. It was Duke shaking off the rust from exams and whipping South Carolina State 103-62 last night. A.J. Griffin led the Blue Devils with 19 points. Coming off the bench, 7 of 8 shooting, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. 6 Blue Devils in double figures. Just Duke looked like Duke last night. It was their biggest margin of victory so far this season. North Carolina kind of had Furman hang around with them in the first half. Game was actually tied. And then the Heels went on a run, got things out to a 21-point lead in the second half, and then go on to win 74-61 over Furman. Dawson Garcia, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Armando Bacot had his 6th double-double of the campaign for Carolina. Is 8-2 and gets ready for matchup with UCLA out in Vegas on Saturday. Wake Forest struggled at home last night with VMI, actually down by double digits in the first half. Needed a 10-0 run to start the second half, and then a 13-0 run gave them the first lead of the game, and they went on to win by 76-70 tally over VMI. Alondis Williams, a career-high 36. For the Demon Deacons are off to a 10-1 start, their best start since 2008 and 2009. Carolina Hurricanes shut it down. NHL has shut them down for having so many players now on the COVID list. They got 6 players in COVID protocol, plus member of the team's training staff. Several are stuck in Vancouver, the rest stuck in Minnesota. The players are stuck in Minnesota, going to stay there for 10 days. Right up to, that's going to be right on the edge of them being able to get home by Christmas Eve. So the Hurricane season has been paused. Their game last night with Minnesota was postponed. Hurricanes have a pair of home games scheduled for PNC Arena this weekend. Those games now up question mark whether those will be played or not. So that's the latest there on the Carolina Hurricanes situation and COVID-19. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, OBX Today Weather Center forecast for today. We're starting out with some clouds. We'll see those clear off as we get into the afternoon. High around 62 with southeast winds around 5 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, some patchy fog developing early hours tomorrow morning, and a low of 52 with southeast winds around 5 becoming calm. Some morning fog Thursday, then sunny, a high 67. Friday, sunny and 72. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous for the Wright Brothers ceremonies, which will take place outside and the flyover. Partly cloudy Friday night, 57. Saturday, partly sunny and 73. Sunday, some showers in the morning as the front comes through, then partly sunny and breezy with a high 53. So that may impact the Candy Bomber schedule. We'll keep you posted on that. Sunny on Monday and 56. Tuesday, sunny and a high 57. Coastal Marine forecast, you'll see northeast winds at 5 to 10 knots. They'll shift to the southeast in the afternoon. 1 foot waves or less in the sound seas, 3 to 4 feet. It's a little bumpy out there, as you can see from our live shot. Where we're looking at Corolla right now. Looks a little bit rougher than you would think. There's some offshore winds kind of pushing a little swell in. That may hamper some efforts with trying to get that boat pulled out there off Southern Shores today. But it doesn't look like it's going to probably cause problems down in Avon. The Avon camera that we usually have is not working at the moment. Rodanthe, it's a little rough, but they are going to try and pull those boats out today. Let's see. Back to our conditions. We've got low tide coming up in Oregon Inlet at 11:49. Water temperatures low 50s on the north beaches, upper 50s to around 60 on Hatteras Island. Sunset tonight's at 4:49. Sunrise tomorrow at 7:05. 54 degrees right now, and a mixture of clouds and a little bit of sun peeking through at times. Thanks for joining us, everybody, on OBX Today Live. Saying good morning to Lisa and Deborah, Chris, Doug, George up in Connecticut saying hi. Merman Dan, I know you just jumped on. We're going to be getting out of here early today. And Tony, hey, there he is, walkingangler.com. Make sure you check out Tony Lombardi's great website on fishing here on the Outer Banks. And that's it for now for OBX Today Live. I'm Sam Walker, presented by Gallup Funeral Services. Back with you tomorrow with all the news, sports, and weather that's fit to talk about at obxtoday.com. We'll see you.